Intelligent and healthy children have difficulty learning to read, write, spell, or deal with numbers. Most experts believe that dyslexia is a neurological problem, but doctors have been unable to come up with an effective treatment for it. Not so the teachers who must work with these children day in and day out. Their solution? They do whatever works. This program for dyslexic children in the Saugus Union School District is considered one of the best in Southern California, where good programs are the rule. These children are indistinguishable from their peers in the so-called normal classrooms, except for the ways in which they learn to handle language. They just can't do it the conventional way. 10-year-old Regis, for example, has to actually feel the letters of the alphabet before he can fix them in his mind and use them. And occasionally he still reverses his letters, especially B's and D's.
Would you write B, D, B? You got the correct pattern, but I said B, D, B. Can you write B, D, B?
These children often see letters backwards. The same children may have trouble telling left from right or up from down. For 8-year-old Matt, the main roadblock to learning is a short attention span. He can learn to handle language, but only when there are no distractions to fuel his hyperactivity.
Jam? Okay, good.
You
think that's a word? No.
In a conventional classroom, Matt would not learn, and it would be easy for a frustrated teacher to interpret his hyperactivity as a behavior problem, an unwillingness to pay attention. In classes like this, you see more hyperactive behavior than in a regular classroom. At times, it looks like band practice, with all the legs keeping time to a beat that no one else can hear. In addition to being hyperactive, these particular children do not process auditory information the way others do. They have difficulty sounding out words one letter at a time.
Did.
Is. Again? Is. Ready?
9-year-olds Paul and Kim also have difficulty hearing the difference between words. But a phonetic approach works better for them than looking at complete words, because their problem is limited to only a few vowel sounds.
That is you. SH.
Be correct.
No.
What's wrong with it, Tim? It's the
Instead
little
of
thing.
A instead of you.
Let's say it again, Paul. Say mash.
Mash.
What sound do you hear in the middle there?
A.
You don't hear A, you hear
Ah.
So it should be.
Now, part 3, we're going to do the letter sounds. First letter, E. Right? This letter for E. The sound K.
Children like 10-year-olds Lisa and Andy, who are more than a year behind others their age, often must start all over with the very first basics if they ever hope to catch up to their peers. Most of the children in these classes will catch up and outgrow their need for special help by the time they are teenagers. But a few will never be able to handle language the same way others do. For them, the value of special education is twofold. It helps them keep up while they're in school, and it gives them the tools they need in the world outside school.
When the child leaves the school setting and now is an adult and out into the occupational world, it's critically important for him to be aware of how he learned best in school, to be aware of what kind of programs did the teachers provide. Did they stress seeing things? Did they stress doing? Because this way he will know how he can learn new skills on his own.
Giving these children the special education they need is time-consuming and expensive, but it's essential that they get it. In my next report, we'll look at the terrible price paid by
Work with numbers. Tonight, Dr. Art Uline wraps up his series on dyslexia with a look at some grown-up children whose dyslexia problems were not correctly identified early enough. Dr. Art.
And there are actually very many varieties of dyslexia. Some children see letters and numbers backwards. Others cannot connect in their minds the sight and sound of different words. For example, the difference between a B and a D. Others are unable to scan a page unless they follow with their fingers across it. Unless dyslexia is diagnosed early and properly treated, these children will be handicapped for the rest of their lives.
On
These children with dyslexia were lucky. Their problem was diagnosed early, and they are getting the special education they need to cope with it. Making that diagnosis can be difficult, because children with dyslexia may try to hide their problem when they learn they are different from others. Because they are smart, they often succeed in covering up the problem for a while. These people made it as far as high school without their dyslexia being discovered. Several got into college. Now, in their 20s and 30s, most of them can't read the message on their high school diplomas.
You can really fake it, too, because that's how I got through high school and junior high, was faking it through. To fake it for me would to tell, instead of causing trouble, I'd sit there and I'd act like I knew what was happening.
I have faked it so much that my parents are so fed up with me faking and so fed up with me trying to get around my problems or trying to find other ways to do things that they're just like, Christy, just grow up and do it. Just do it. And I said, I can't do it the normal way, you know. I just can't comprehend it. I have to go around things, and I have to find other ways to, I just have to find it that way.
I feel very angry because I feel like people are sitting next to me and they're just, you know, like really understanding what's going on, and to them it's like ABC, and I'm sitting here going, what is this stuff? It looks like Chinese. It looks like symbols to me. I don't understand it. And I get very frustrated that I can't understand it, so what happens is that I build this block.
They kept passing us by, you know, onto the other grades. They wouldn't, you know, if you didn't make it, you wouldn't stay behind it, pass you on. Then when I went into junior high, I would, like earlier somebody says that they would have the smart, the medium, and the dumb. Well, automatically, I would go to the dumb on my own, so I wouldn't be chosen to read or do anything. And then in high school, the same thing. By then, I was bigger than my teachers, so I wouldn't take anything from them, and I figured with all the swats I took in grammar school and in junior high, I wasn't going to take any more from anybody.
The experts say you can find the youngsters who are faking it today at the outskirts of any high school. They are the rebels, the class clowns who are hard on their teachers and ultimately harder on themselves.
This youngster is going to develop increasing frustrations, increasing anxieties, declining self-image, which will inevitably lead to a significant childhood adjustment reaction, which is a psychopathological reaction in which they turn against themselves and against society. If this goes unchecked, if they are not placed in a proper school setting where their handicap is directly addressed, the threat is, first of all, a truant child, then a delinquent adolescent, and then a criminal adult.
If you or someone you know has been faking it to overcome problems with dyslexia, you're not alone. Studies show that 1/5 of the adults in this country cannot read at the 8th grade level, many of them because they are handicapped by dyslexia. Help is available. There are special reading programs everywhere. If you need that help, don't be embarrassed about asking for it. Taking action now will improve the quality of the rest of your life. Well, that ends our series on dyslexia, but I hope you'll join us here next week. We're going to start a new series on health problems of women. Paul?
Right here at 5 o'clock next week?
That's right.
We'll all be here. Okay. I hope you all have a terrific...
Swimming for safety, and a dinghy capsized in the Avalon Harbor, just off the coast of Catalina Island. Ironically enough, this is how today's rescue operation began. Hundreds of people were forced to spend